Welcome to the world of colors. I'm Colors. Today we're going to be making some gnome that I'm really excited about. His name is Claus. This is what he looks like. He's just like a big stuffed toy. And we're going to be making him today. I really like him a lot, and I'm excited to make him. And I wanted to tell you about the kits that we're offering in Etsy, on our Etsy store. They are to make these plaque gnomes. And the other day I was at Dollar Tree and found these DIY boards that I attached the gnomes that come in the kit to. You don't get these boards in the kit, but I just wanted to tell you that if you find these in the store, they come in blue and green, that the gnomes that we do in the kit go really nice on those boards. I used some E6000 and glued them to the boards, and they look really good. You can get those kits to make this set of gnomes at the World of Colors DIY. That's our Etsy channel, our store, World of Colors DIY. So you can go there and get the kits. So I'll be right back in a moment and give you the materials list to make Claus, and we'll get started on that. So what we're going to be using to make Claus today, we'll start with the poinsettia. We need just one poinsettia for him. It comes in a package of 6 at the Dollar Tree. We're going to use white fur for the beard and mustache. You're going to need a 6x7 beard, and we're going to be using a separate mustache on this one, and it's 2.5 inches by 6.5 inches, the mustache piece. You're going to need a believe sign from the Dollar Tree. You're going to need these baby mittens from the Dollar Tree. I got this little 3.5 inch teddy bear from Joann's. You're going to need that. And I got this 5-inch teddy bear from a thrift store. So you'll need to find something equivalent to that. And I've got this paddle ball toy that goes in the toy bag from Dollar Tree. There's like 6 in a package. The football I got from Party City. There was a variety of different sports balls in a package at Party City. So that was a great thing to get for making gnomes. And then these gnome picks that I got from Dollar Tree. Real cute. You need just one of those. We're using the green one. And then these little gnome pieces, they're ornaments that we'll be using in the toy pack. Those from Dollar Tree. And then from Dollar Tree, I got the pom-pom for his hat in white. Came in a package like this at Easter time. You can get these in white or pink to make the little bunnies. And I buy a lot of these bags and use them for the bunnies, but I also use them separately for the pom-poms that are so nice. So remember that at Easter time to get those. Any pom-pom that you have will do for Claus. And then the fleece that we're going to use, we're going to need 2 8x8 pieces of the moss green fleece for the toy bag, 2 9x10 pieces of the red felt for his arms, 2 10x10 inch pieces of the tan for his hands, a 3x9 inch piece that we're going to use for the back of his hat for trim, and then we need 2 9x12 inch pieces of the red felt for his hat, and then a 13.5 inch by 24.5 inch piece of red felt for the body. And then probably the most surprising piece for our materials list is this pair of pants that we're going to be using for him that make him so cute. And this is actually a party hat that goes on. See if I can get them open easy enough. It's actually a party hat, that adult size party hat that you wear like that. And when I saw them, I thought, how cute would that be for gnome pants? So that's what we're going to be using on him today. So then we'll be using two 8-inch rollers, and then some 7-inch rollers that come in 6 in a package at Dollar Tree. We're going to be using this little stocking from the at-home store. We need some marbles. I got these red marbles at the at-home store, and it didn't matter that they were red, but that was the color that they had at the time I went, and I often get the marbles there. So we're going to be using a big 2-inch wood nose, and we're going to be painting it with the Testors Coral Cove base paint, and then the Stardust glitter paint on top of that to get this finish on this nose. We need to use some hairspray. Firm hold hairspray is best, and your polyester fiber fill and your rubber bands. And hopefully I haven't left anything out. That's our materials list for today, and I'll be right back to get started. Okay, so we're going to take our big piece of red felt. It's 13.5 inches by 24.5 inches. And we're going to fold it in half, and now it's 12 inches by 13.5 inches. 12 inches by 13.5 inches this way, and we're gonna glue the 13.5 inch ends together. I'll hold that down with my heavier scissors, and then I'll just come in at about 1/4 of an inch and go all the way down. I need some more glue. And then just glue those together like that. And I'll let those set up, and I'll be right back. Set up there on the ends. We'll go ahead and just gather the ends together. A lot of you know this way that I make the body. Just gather the ends together like that. And let's just take your rubber band around it like that. I'm going to do that twice. And then you want to turn it right side out. And just kind of pull it apart a little bit. And now you have like this bag that you've made. And then you want to put some marbles in there. That should be good. That's about 1 pound of marbles. that I'm putting in this one. It's a big gnome, and that should be plenty. I like to use a lot of marbles, I think. And then we want to fill it up with polyester fiber fill. Fill it up nice and full, and then just gather the top back up and close it with a couple rubber bands. And I'll be right back with you. I've got this all set up. I put a couple rubber bands on it, and now we have this center of our body here at the top, the stub area, and I have the seam in the back. So the seam and the stub, and then what I want to do is put the nose about 1.5 inches out on the front of that right here. I got the nose again by taking the wood 2-inch wood ball. It's actually a knob that I got 12 in a package from Amazon. So you get these 2-inch wood knobs, and they work great for noses. And then you just want to glue it about 1.5 inches out. I painted it with the Testors Coral Cove acrylic paint, and then their Stardust glitter burst finish on top. They're both made by Rust-Oleum, Testors Craft Paints. And that's how I got the finish on the nose. So we're going to go ahead and glue that on now. So just make sure you're right on the seam on the back, and then go right down about 1.5 inches, and I'll let that dry. So the next thing we want to do, now that the nose is set up on there, is to take out the hat that we're going to use for pants. These pants, I got 3 pairs in a package from Simply Genius on Amazon. They're called Santa Legs Hat on Amazon. So what we want to do is we want to clip that off now that I've told you that. And you want to go inside the hat and cut a slit right above where the legs are in the inside of the hat. Just cut a slit there big enough to get these wire rollers down in there. See if I can. Once you get a little bit of a hole established, you can bring them out and put the rest of your hole in there. So now I've got a hole on. Sure, I have them just how I want them. And there's a little bit of filling in the legs already. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rollers in. I'm just pushing them all the way down to the foot so I can move those feet later when I want to. And then what we want to do is put just a slight little bit of polyester fiber fill in the bottom and pushing a little bit down into the legs. You can see it all. And then we're going to go ahead. I just put that that small amount in there. Top off the rollers a little bit. And then is what we want to do. I'm going to clip off these tags because they're going to want to stick out. We want to take our body that we have all done up here, and we want to put it inside the pants. You want to make sure the buckle of the pants lines up nice with your nose. And just put it in like that. And I'll be right back and we'll get this glued together. I'm all set to go ahead and glue on the pants. We're going to glue them around the top, and then we're going to glue them here at the legs. That'll help them set up later. Sit up later. So what we're going to do is just like some glue at the seams down far so it doesn't come up on you. I'm just gluing the other seam over here, and then maybe behind the buckle I'm going down about 1.5 inches, and then very in the middle of the back where our seam is back here, put a couple pumps in at those spots. And then is what we want to do is put some glue right above the trim of the foot on both sides. It's going to help them set up. We're going to set that up. So I'll be right back. Got the pants glued on. Now we're going to make the arms. So you want to take out one of your 9x10 pieces of red felt. And we want to fold it so it's 5x9, 5x9, and we're going to glue the 9-inch sides. Just go down about 1/4 inch. And then let those come together. We're going to let those set up. So that's set up now. We'll turn it right side out. And we're going to put some polyester fiber fill inside. And then we want to put our 7-inch roller down in here. We're going to make a tunnel through the stuffing. Put our roller in there. And just go ahead and fasten it. This is the side will be where we glue it onto the body. Like that. And then this end I'm going to leave open because we're going to put the mitten on there. So I'm going to make the hand. Take out your 10x10-inch piece of tan fleece. And we will put together a hand. your polyester fiber fill together in your hand like it's a ball. Put that in the middle of your fleece. Push it up in there. Take your rubber band and fasten the bottom of it, and then just cut off the extra. Now what we want to do is we're going to be putting the mitten over the top of this. We just want the form of the hand to put the mitten over the top of. So we're going to glue it to the bottom of the roller. I'll let that set up. Okay, so I've got the hand glued in there onto the roller like that. And what we want to do is take the mitten and put some stuffing in it, a little bit, in the end and the thumb, just a little bit. And then we want to put it right around the bottom of that felt and onto the hand that we made. Just like that. I didn't get enough stuffing in the thumb. There we go. Then you just want to take some jute and tie that around. Like that. And then we'll go around and glue that mitten in place. And I've got the other one already made. So what we need to do is go ahead and glue them in place right about, we're going to come out about 1 inch from the stub and glue it a line right across all 3 of them, about 1 inch from the stub. You want the thumbs up, and then we'll glue them on, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, I've got the arms glued on, and now we need to do the beard. So we need to take out your 6 by 7 inch piece of white fur and your 2.5 by 6.5 piece of white fur. And we're gonna get the beard on him. So the first thing you want to do on the back, keeping the back up on your beard, is to go ahead and glue in the corners to round them off a little bit. We're going to glue them in on both sides. My dogs are busy around the table, so you might hear some strange noises. So you got those glued in like that. And you want to take it and fold it in half. This is the 7-inch length. Fold it in half and cut it about 1.5 inches. We want to pull this back on the nose, and we want to make sure it's far enough that you're going to be able to see the belt. If you needed to adjust it just a little bit, which I might, just a little bit more to bring it up so you can see the belt good. And then you can go ahead and glue that in place up here by the stub. Just glue that. We want to keep everything centered around the stub so that the hat will go across all the mechanics. The mechanics are the glue and the wire and the things that we don't want people to see. So when I say that about we want it to cover the mechanics, that's what I'm talking about. Rubber bands and all that type of thing we don't want hanging out. So there's the beard. And it's what I did on this one is I wanted the mustache to be really prevalent on here. So I made a separate one for the mustache. And we're going to go ahead and glue that on. Taking the tape it off first. I've got this all established with my pick as a mustache. And we'll just go ahead and glue that on. Right, tuck it right up underneath the nose there. I'll let that set up. So I've got the mustache and the beard on, and then I spray it with some hairspray so it keeps its shape nice. And then you just take the pick and make sure it's how you want it. You can go back and do that a couple more coats if you want to as you're working along with it. Now the next thing we want to do is the hat. And so you want to take out your two 9x12 pieces of red felt. And what we want to do is fold it, take both pieces together and fold them in half, the 9-inch end, and then just mark your middle. I'm using a little chalk writer from Dollar Tree. Mark your middle like that, and then start at the bottom and cut from the corner all the way to that marked spot. Do that on both sides. Like that. And then what we want to do is glue the two pieces together on both sides. So just come in about 1/4 inch all the way down and glue this side and do the same thing on the other side, and I'll be right back with you. So I've got the hat set up on both sides. I'm going to turn it right side out now. Go as far down as I can with my fingers to get that point out. Just about like that will be good. And then I always take the end here of the seam and I cut that little piece sticking out. Get rid of those. And then what we want to do is put some trim on it. I had these extra little stockings from At Home. I bought these at the At Home store, and I just had a couple of them extra in my Christmas stuff, and I needed some fur for the front of his hat. For the front here. So I just borrowed some from this little Christmas stocking. I just cut the thread so it would pull apart. It comes off pretty easily, like that. And then you want to take the thread off from the seam of the white part. And then you have your front of your hat. And then this part, the bottom, I will keep because I'm sure I'll have another project for that. So then we just want to glue on this trim on the front of the hat. Trim it up the right size. Just like that. And we'll go ahead and get it glued on here. Now I didn't have enough of the little stockings to do the back with the same material, so I'm doing the back with just a piece of white fleece, that 3x9 piece of white fleece that I told you about in the materials list. We're going to cut that and put that on the back. So just turn it over like that. And cut that down a little bit. Like that. Lay it right on there. And cut your ends a little long. We want to be able to glue them over to meet with the front. that. You glue right on the seam, really. Just fold it over to glue those ends together like that. See how that is? And then just glue the rest all the way over to the other seam. And then we'll just glue these together. Just put your glue right along the seam there. I have a little extra that I can trim off. That should be a nice back on it. And then we want to take our pom-pom and put it on the top. Okay, I'll be right back with you. So I've got the poinsettia put on the hat. Put that on real quick so it could set up. And then I put some polyester fiberfill in there and stuffed it pretty good. And then what we want to do is tunnel down in the middle and put our 7-inch roller in there. So we have a little bend to the hat. Just get it up in there. Gives us a little bit of a bend. Get that a little bit farther up. And then what we want to do is go ahead and glue it on. And on this one, rather than try to glue it onto the nose, I just glued it right on the back of the nose. So we're going to cover up the arms up here on the top. We're going to cover up the arms and we're going to glue it right to the arms like that. And we're not going to glue it to the top of the nose. We might glue a little bit to the back of the nose, like that, but it's mostly behind the nose. You want to make sure you get the tops of the arms covered up with this. Like that, and just glue right onto that arm, and right over here onto this arm, and then a little bit we'll put it underneath on the back. And I'll see if I want to put a little bit of glue right here on the front. Let's do the sides and the back and go from there. So I'll start gluing mine and I'll be right back with you. I've got the hat all glued on. I glued it on both sides. I glued it a little bit underneath the front here between the back of the nose and the beard. A little bit of glue down in there. And then I glued it on both sides in the back rather than in the middle, but on both sides. And so that looks good. What we want to do now is make the toy bag, and we want to take out our two 8x8 pieces of the moss green color. I just think the moss green looks richer than the evergreen on a lot of the Christmas stuff, so that's why I choose that, but you could use the evergreen if you wanted, any color green you want. So I'm going to take the 8x8 pieces and put them together, and I'm going to glue the 3 sides. Leave the top open, and just go in about 1/4 of an inch on all 3 sides, the bottom and the 2 sides, and glue those together, and then I'll be right back with you. I've got the 3 sides all glued and set up, and so we'll turn it right side out. Get those points up. Put a little bit of stuffing in there. And then, let me back up a minute. I've got to write toys on here before I put the stuffing in there. So you just want to take your black marker and write toys on the back of it like that. And then put your stuffing in there. And I'll fold it down a little bit at the top. And then I'm just going to glue it on like this. Get it on there like that. He's going to set up better once he gets his front pieces put on. A little bit less stuffing, I think. And we're going to glue it on like that. So we just want to put some glue on the back. Like that, and then just set it right in the middle of the back and let that set up. So I've got that glued on the back like that, and it's set up. What we want to do is take some jute and just wrap the jute around where it's folded down. It's like the rope is inside the fold, and just wrap that around a couple times. And then just bring that out onto the arm. we're gonna glue it onto the arm. So what we want to do is just take and make a knot in the end of this. Like that. And we'll glue that onto the front. Okay, I'll be right back. So I put another string around him, another piece of jute. So we'll have two coming out the front. And then I'm going to glue these right here. Glue the corners right here on the bag. Just put a little bit of glue in there to glue the strings in place. I'm going to do that one and that one. Okay, so I've got the ropes on there. And it's all set except for we need to glue the top of the bag to the top of the bottom of the hat. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue right here on both sides and let that set up. And then when you come back, we're going to put some toys in this bag. Okay, we're ready to fill the toy bag with toys. We've got to put we've got five toys. Yeah, we're going to start with this little teddy bear that we got from Joann's. And glue them right in the corner here. I'm going to glue him in the corner. And then you want to take your little gnome, toy gnome, with the red hat and put it here so that you can see it good against the white trim of the hat. So the red hat one goes next. Put that there. I'm going to try to hold these just enough that I can get onto the next. Then the paddle ball will be the third thing. Get it down in there. Now let these set up and then I'll finish in just a moment. We've got these three toys in there and now we want the white hatted little gnome from Dollar Tree. We'll put that one here on the end. Little toy gnomes for the gnome children. And then the football, we're going to put right here with the laces pointed out, like that. And that's how it is. It's all set up. We're going to turn it around now and do the sign and the little gnome that is on his lap. Did you all notice the little gnome on his lap? Right here. We're going to do that and the sign next. So let's turn this one around. See, when you get the sign on, and the sign's glued down, and then the baby gnome is glued on here, that makes him more stable. So that he'll sit up for you real easily. So how we make the baby gnome is we take that 5-inch teddy bear and this pick from Dollar Tree, and you want to take this right off, this pick. just on a piece of styrofoam. Comes right off. And that's what you end up with. Isn't that cute? So we want to take that and put it right over the head of the teddy bear. So you get a baby gnome. You tuck in the fur on both sides. It's kind of wide for our purpose. So I tuck that in like that. And you have this little baby gnome. I'll glue the hat down a little bit. Isn't that cute? So now we want him to be sitting on Claus's lap, waiting to get his toy. So we'll glue him right on there. If I get some more glue. And then we just want to glue the top. We got that glued down to the foot. And we'll glue the top to the glove. And I'll let that set up, and I'll be back to put the sign on, and then we'll be finished. So I've got the little gnome down here sitting on his lap, and I need to put the sign. I've got the sign situated where we want it. And we're just going to go ahead and put some glue on the bottom here. Let them set right down in the glue. And then it's glued to the hand. So we'll put some glue on the hand here. And glue it right there. And then hold it real good and let it set up. Well, he's all finished now. This is Claus. And I just think that he's an adorable addition to our gnome family. He's one that you really need to make because he's so cute. And I wanted to say about the Etsy plaques, the plaque kits that we have on Etsy are this part here, and it's a plaque hack that I've done on one of my videos previously. I did this plaque hack. I took the Dollar Tree plaques and embellished them. And then I took those and put them on the DIY boards that Dollar Tree just came out with. But the boards aren't included in the kit, just this part. And you can get that kit if you go to World of Colors DIY, and we'll send you out a kit. They're available at World of Colors DIY on Etsy. So I just wanted to say that. And tell you that if you like this video, make sure to like it. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe.